Let's go! Hello, dog fans.
Hello and welcome to Real Dog TV's Locker Room Talk. I'm Mike Martin. Today we're going to look at who are Washington's most dynamic duos. The case begins and almost ends with Lavon Coleman and Myles Gaskin. The goal of every team is to stop the run, but since 2015, very few teams have been able to stop Washington's ground game. In 2015, Myles Gaskin broke onto the scene and snatched the position, and he hasn't looked back. Well, now when he does look back, there's Lavon Coleman. When the reins were handed over to Gaskin, it provided Coleman with both time and motivation to grow, and grow he did. In 2016, he had a breakout season and shared the load with Gaskin. In fact, Coleman saved that night in the desert. Between this duo, they accounted for 2,200 yards and 17 touchdowns on the ground last season. Think of them as thunder and lightning. Next up are Azeem Victor and Keyshawn Bierria. The tone for the defense in 2016 was set by Bierria and Victor. Victor was flying all over the field and laying on hits, while Bierria was always around the ball and led the team in fumble recoveries. The other Husky hitters followed suit the entire season as they led the country with 33 turnovers. They were always coming up with drive-stopping hits and turnovers. Think of Bierria and Victor as maybe Batman and Robin. Robin as in Robbing. The next dynamic duo are Kaleb McGary and Trey Adams. Adams and McGary are the bookends of an offensive line that bashed their way to the 8th best scoring offense in 2016. Adams had Browning's backside, while McGary didn't give up a sack all year, while playing next to and sometimes compensating for true freshman Nick Harris. If ever Marvel Comics needed to come up with some hillbilly heroes, they could start with this dynamic duo. Next up is Jake Browning and Dante Pettis. What can be said about this duo that hasn't been said already? With Pettis now Browning's primary target, Mario Bailey's career TD reception record is in serious jeopardy. Last year, Jake Browning destroyed Keith Price's season TD record. Yes, maybe Flash Gordon is gone, but Dante Pettis can still fly. Next up are Greg Gaines and Vita Vea. I'm tempted just to call these two guys Washington's most dynamic duo, just so that I don't piss them off and have them crush me like some poor QB. But between these two monsters of mayhem, they could shut down just about anybody's rushing game or collapse the pocket and alter the passing game. Think of Greg Gaines and Vita Vea as Thunder and Thunderer. Next up are JoJo McIntosh and Ezekiel Turner. The case for Turner and McIntosh is not as clear as the others, but it's no less significant. Think lightning, and when it comes to lightning striking twice, it's Turner and McIntosh. They've been assigned the moniker the Bash Brothers by Coach Jimmy Lake for their heat-seeking big hits. Hey, Oregon! Last and certainly not least are Joe Whitford and Tristan Vizcaino. Vizcaino and Whitford's case is simple. Coach Pete is their position coach. In Whitford, Coach Pete sees a guy who can boom punts to flip the field and still be able to kick rugby style. His booming kicks should give death row dogs an extra 8 to 10 yards to defend. But the importance that Coach Pete puts on these positions lands them in this countdown. So who do you think is Washington's most dynamic duo? For Real Dog TV, I'm Mike Martin.